Welcome to Through the Roof, where we explore life inside the walls we call home and the lives we build within them. I'm Ruth, property professional, storyteller and lover of all things home. Each week, we'll open the door to real stories behind the scenes of the property industry, design, inspiration and practical tips for shifting house, creating calm spaces and keeping your home safe, secure and beautifully comfortable. Because whether you own, rent or simply dream, everyone deserves to feel at home. So make yourself at home. You're listening to Through the Roof. I'm so glad that you've joined me again. Today's episode is for anyone who's renting right now and feeling a little unsteady because of it. Maybe your lease is short. Maybe the rent just went up yet again. Maybe you don't know where you'll be living 6 months from now. And even though life is happening, work, rest, relationships, healing, there's this quiet question in the background. Can I really settle here if nothing feels guaranteed? If that's you, this episode is for you. Take a breath with me. You're not behind and you're not doing life wrong. The first thing to do is name the uncertainty. Renting right now can feel unsettling. There's a sense of impermanence that follows you, like you're supposed to stay light, stay ready, stay unattached. You might hesitate to hang art, to buy the couch you love, to get comfortable. Because what if you have to move again? What if this isn't the place? And slowly, without realizing it, your home can start to feel more like a holding space than the place of rest and your escape from life. But here's something important that we don't say enough. You are still living your life right now inside those walls. How can you make your life the life you want? This isn't a rehearsal. This isn't a waiting room. So let's redefine home for you. We've been taught that home comes with ownership, with permanence, with long-term certainty, and especially in Australia, it's considered the Aussie dream. But home has always been more than just those titles. Home is emotional safety. It's where your nervous system can exhale. It's where you're allowed to soften, be vulnerable, be you. And none of those things require a mortgage. You don't need ownership to belong. You don't need permanence to settle into yourself. Even temporary places can hold real joy, real rest, real meaning, and a real reflection of comfort for you. Renting gives us a much lighter budget than what ownership does, because with ownership comes a lot of stress. So consider it a positive thing. I've had landlords that have also chosen to rent their own home where they're living and not live in a home that they have a mortgage. It's not unusual. It can be a tax thing for some people, but also allows them to be able to live in a suburb that they wouldn't normally be able to actually afford to buy in. So there are positives for renting as well. You need to give yourself permission to be kinder to yourself. If you're renting right now, I want you to hear this clearly. You're allowed to live life fully right where you are, right now. You're allowed to make your space beautiful for yourself. You're allowed to nest. And you're allowed to care, especially for the walls that you're in. You don't have to earn comfort by waiting for the right home. You could choose, light a candle, buy the cozy bedding, cook meals that make you feel held, that remind you of grandparents or good memories. Give yourself the comfort in the walls that you live right now. Not because this place is forever, but because you are here right now. And you deserve to be living with intention, not hesitation. Grounding in the present when the market feels uncertain, and most grounding things you can do is to come back to right now. Ask yourself, what would make me feel safer in this space today? What can I do to make my space feel like me? What would help my body relax when I walk through the door? How can I honor this season instead of resisting it? Consider that where you're living just like a season. It does change and it's healthy to change. And sometimes the seasons go on for far longer than you expected. And hopefully, if you've found the right home, it is for longevity. In my 26 years of being a property manager, there are a lot of people that I know that are long-term tenants. It used to be considered that anyone in a home longer than 5 years was a really long-term tenant. That's changing, especially with the market in South Australia being so insecure and so hard to find a new property. People are staying in the one property for longer and longer. And it's important for owners to allow a little bit of reflection of the tenant in a property as well. If they're a good tenant, consider allowing them to put their little touch on the property here and there if they seek permission and with your sought approval first, such as hooks on the walls. I wouldn't live in a home without pictures on the walls. Why should a tenant? Just little things like that. Sometimes home isn't about how long you stay in a place. It can be how gently you treat yourself while you're there. That's the difference between a house and a home. If you're renting and feeling unsettled, you're not alone. There's more people that are renting than there are owning in South Australia overall. Just remember this. Home is not postponed until later. Home is something that you practice right now. I want you to consider what's important to you in your surroundings. For me, I'm a maximalist, but I don't like untidy either though. Unlike hoarding, I do own a lot of things and I have a lot of pictures on one wall. I like it to almost look like an antique shop where everything has its little place that it belongs, but there's lots to look at. To me, that gives me calmness in my mind. Some of my friends, complete opposite. Having more than one picture per wall gives them chaos and they can't handle it. They like the vast colour of just the wall and one thing to look at. And that's great because that's important to them. Consider what's important to you. Maybe you like colour. Maybe you like dark colours. Maybe you like to have textures around you. Maybe you like every room to be slightly different than the other. So depending what mood you're in, you might go from one room to another. As a tenant, there's a lot of things that you can do to make the home feel the reflection of the person or people inside of it. You've got rugs. You don't have a choice of what the flooring or the carpet is in a place, but you've got your own rugs to be able to cover it over and make it the colour that reflects with your furniture. You've got the choice of the type of furniture that you have. You've got the choice of what scent you want to go through your home. Smell is a very important aspect of triggering memories. They can be positive and negative. Consider what room spray you might want to use, or even as something as simple as the fabric softener that you use for your bedding. It can make a room smell amazing. I love it when I've just got out the shower, I've got fresh sheets on the bed, fresh quilt cover, fresh everything. And you hop into bed and oh my gosh, it is the best sleep. I'm surprised we almost don't do that every day, but then of course it wouldn't be special. So what is something that makes you feel good? I don't like baths. A lot of people love a good hot bath and they might have the Lush bath bombs. And that to them makes them feel loved, cared for, and the smell that lingers on the skin afterwards can be amazing as well. There might be something else that's important to you, such as the pictures of loved ones on a shelf. If you don't have any shelves, maybe you might want to buy a side buffet or some type of cabinetry that's short, such as even a piano top, for example, where you can make it a real shrine to all the people that have been important to you, past, present, and moving into the future. It changes and you might change those photos to reflect as well. You might choose to have a few little trinkets from a few holidays, or if someone's bought you a trinket or something from a holiday, to have that up there too. Again, a shrine can be whatever makes you feel happy when you look at it. I love indoor plants. I have about 200. I seriously might have a problem with it. A lot of people don't like plants, but to me, walking in and knowing the health that a plant gives us is something that's really important to me. And there's so many choices in pots, the type of got the, I think it's called banana palm shavings, or you've got almost like nesting kind of wood. You might put pebbles over the soil, all sorts of ways to just really dress it up as well, depending on what room it's in. You might even have a little veranda or a porch where you can hang up some plants where they hang over and they give you flowers throughout the year. My grandma used to have a lot of flowers and plants on a porch. So to me, I love to have an outdoor green room where it's like a little mini fernery, nothing compared to hers. But to me, on a Sunday morning in beautiful weather, I'll go out there with my cup of tea and just enjoy the memories and the feeling that it gives me. Doesn't matter if you rent or if you own. Because in that environment, right in that moment, when you're sitting down and have a little routine to yourself, it doesn't matter. What matters is right now and grounding yourself. What allows you to feel like you've escaped the worries and the concerns and stresses of the world that are out beyond the property. How do you want to feel when you walk in at the end of a day, whether it be out shopping or working or visiting people? When you come in, you kick off your shoes, you breathe. And that's what matters with home. Thank you for spending this time with me on Through the Roof. If this episode has resonated in any way, I'd love you to share. It will get my word out to people. And you're allowed to belong. I just want to remind you that you are exactly where you're meant to be. If you've enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow Through the Roof wherever you get your podcasts. And if you've got a story about your home and your experiences, I would love to hear from you. You can reach out, ruth@thepmboutique.com.au. So until next time, take a deep breath, look around and remember, home is what you make it.